This documentary is about the youth charity Avon Youth Association, known as AYA, which ran from 1861 until 2015 when it folded due to government cuts. It was a charity that had no political, religious or ideological affiliations, and unlike organisations like the Scouts, had no uniform or rules of conduct. Its main focus was to help develop the life skills of young people and encourage them to become responsible members of society. By 1971, the charity was out of touch with effective youth work and was heading in decline. In 1993, a new executive director, Ian D. Anderson, took over the association and dramatically revolutionised the delivery of youth work to the young people in the Avon region in a way that was never seen before. I became involved with AYA after meeting Ian. His innovative ideas were a great inspiration as I could see how effective they were, and I wanted to get involved and collaborate in generating even more great new ideas. Our aim was to inspire young people. Our motto became, paraphrasing Winston Churchill, "Never in the field of youth development was so much achieved by so few with such limited resources." Initially, I volunteered to do 3 months voluntary work for AYA doing desktop publishing for them. I became so impressed with what the AYA was trying to achieve that I ended up doing voluntary work for 21 years, doing all their IT for them, getting involved with many of their projects until the charity folded in 2015. Here is Ian talking about the AYA in the year 2000 in an archive clip.
Avon Youth Association is a charity that works with young people throughout the old county of Avon. Its aim is to help young people achieve their potential. In any one year, Avon Youth Association carries out more than 200 different projects. We cover all sort of 75 miles across the county and reach different forms of young people, from school to people who are in trouble, who need certain particular types of help.
Before Ian took over the AYA, AYA had no projects. They gave little practical advice to youth clubs. So the first project Ian set up was running a youth bus as a mobile youth centre. The bus could go to places that had no youth resources. It went to run down inner city and rural areas. All the buses were donated by First Bus, and Ian had to collect them from London. The buses were funded by donations from GWR Radio Bristol,
with support from J. Tidmarsh, who was the Lord Lieutenant of Bristol, giving the AYA royal connections. The AYA method was to work with young people in their own environment, so they were free to be creative and express themselves without fear of criticism, to guide them with life issues and help them take responsibility with their lives and to have fun in the process.
I became involved with AYA as a result of the Youth Service Department, Bristol City Council, saying that they wanted to do something as far as young people were concerned and producing a shopping list of things that could be done. And one of the things on the shopping list was the bus, and the bus was the thing that attracted me most. So I managed to get hold of some money for the bus, and the Bristol City Council approached AYA and asked them if they would run it. The bus provides a lot of entertainment for a lot of youth that will have nothing else to do. The computers are there, the badge making equipment, the opportunity for them to have conversations and enjoy each other's company, coffee, there's tea. Couldn't be a better resource, could it? I brought a High Court judge to the bus. We were 3/4 of an hour late because I couldn't get him off the bus. He was so fascinated in meeting the people who were on it, listening to what they had to say. It was very interesting. I think that it's a pun when I say it, but it's a remarkable vehicle to help other people.
The AYA buses had their seats removed, allowing them to be used with a normal car driving licence. Worktop services were installed with a seating area at the back for socialising. Up to 12 network computers with satellite internet, which later became 3G, 4G mobile, had games and educational programs installed.
Other facilities included music, DJ equipment, cooking facilities, arts and crafts, badge making, and outside sports equipment.
The computers were used for schoolwork, literacy courses, IT literacy courses for young mothers and young people.
There's simply no denying it, the computer is a vital and inseparable part of our lives nowadays. But not all of us are lucky enough to either have the computers or in fact the time to use them. Of course our kids know it all, don't they always, but it's the young mothers who often lose out. And that's why this bus is so important. Because this is hands-on IT. Beth Porter's in charge. Beth, what's going on here?
Well, Adrian, this is the very first session for young mothers in a 4-week course to introduce them to IT. And this is a project that was engendered by the Bristol City Council Women's Forum in conjunction and partnership with Avon Youth Association, which has the bus, and with BBC Bristol Online and yourselves. And it's a wonderful partnership to actually enable young women throughout Bristol to be empowered to deal with both their working and domestic lives.
For some of these mothers, it's just a case of keeping up with technology. Others want to bring their businesses up to speed.
I can put my payment books and things, my business work on the computer, and it will be a lot of time saving and easy for me.
But for a lot of women, it's very good if they want to study for a degree or for a course, or if they want to help their children with homework.
During the bus's stay in St Paul's, the nearby community centre Humder looks after the kids, while the mums learn the tricks. Teacher Beth Porter rules the bus with an iron mouse.
It's not just for kids and nerds. It is spreading rapidly throughout the whole of society. And why should young women be, and why should any women be disadvantaged?
The bus will visit any community in Bristol that's interested. The scheme runs until March next year. Adrian North-Phillips, BBC Points West in St Paul's.
A team of 6 graduates from Rolls-Royce Bristol undertook a community project on behalf of 2 local charities, the Prince's Trust and the Avon Youth Association.
Well, here we are at Bamington. This is just one of the locations visited by the Avon Youth Association. The buses typically operate in areas where there's a lack of local facilities, such as youth clubs or public IT facilities. They're able to provide help and training and bring mobile facilities to where they're most needed on a regular basis.
As a charity, we have great difficulties in raising funds to provide projects like this, and what Rolls-Royce graduates have been able to do for us is take on the project in total and actually do the whole work themselves and take it from a bus that was not of any use at all into one that, as you will probably see, can cater for up to about 30-35 young people. It's a meeting place, and it goes into places where there aren't any resources, there is no guidance, no support for young people. And what we're able to offer them is educational opportunities through use of IT, but also the meeting place where we can develop their potential and help them achieve. But what it's also done for the charity is created partnerships, one with Rolls-Royce, but also with a bus company.
The AYA had royal recognition with various royal visits over the years, which were organised by one of our patrons of AYA and committee member, J. Tidmarsh, Lord Lieutenant of Bristol.
These visits included visits from Princess Anne, Prince Edward, the Queen and Prince Philip. Myself and Ian, and a few select members of AYA, were invited to Buckingham Palace at the invitation of the Queen, who annually invites members of charity organisations each year in July to Buckingham Palace. Those invited have done notable charity works throughout the year. In 1993, AYA launched its first youth club bus. In just a short few years, it had 12 on the road at the same time.
The Princess Royal has been visiting a Bristol youth club on wheels today as part of her tour of the region. Princess Anne met teenagers who've benefited from the Avon Youth Association's youth buses. The buses are equipped with computers, sofas and arts and crafts materials and tour different parts of Bristol as travelling youth clubs.
The optimism was also evident when Princess Anne visited St Paul's today. She was in the city to see how activity buses are used by young and old.
We've got 6 buses, 2 buses dedicated for Bristol, working out on the streets 5 nights a week, working with young people that have no resources, nowhere to go.
AYA should not have folded, as it was tremendously successful at providing support and services to young people. In 2015, the government cut funding to all youth services within England. This was catastrophic for all the young people and the youth services, as all the existing services had to shut down. Once organisations closed down, they are dissolved. The government did not think that youth centres and services were necessary. But since they were closed, crime rates have soared, boredom has increased, education has declined, Only one of the 48 youth associations in England is still running in Warwickshire, and that was 100% privately funded. It can only be resurrected now by someone with drive and vision and private backing by a big company like Amazon or Microsoft, or a rich individual like Elon Musk.
With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all.